Why aren't there more anxiety success stories? Now, if you've been following this channel, I talk a lot about anxiety recovery. However, you may find that during your own recovery journey, you go on these forums and you're like, nobody's recovering. There's so many people out there struggling. So many of them are struggling longer than you. You've probably been told by other people this is only something that can be managed, something that can be dealt with. And as much as you want to believe that you can overcome this, it's kind of hard for you to connect. Sure, you see some success stories, but are they real? Are they legit? What I want to talk to you about this video is about why there's not enough success stories. Why aren't there more anxiety success stories? Now, there is a totally rational and logical reason why you don't hear about them, and it's not what you think. So pay attention, and by the end of this video, I'll let you know exactly so that you can be confident that this is actually something that you can overcome. And that's one of the biggest steps for recovery. So pay attention. So when I was struggling with anxiety, when I was getting these physical symptoms that convinced me that there was something seriously wrong with me, where I felt like I needed to go to the doctors, and the doctors had seen me so much that they never wanted to see me again. When I was getting these intrusive thoughts that convinced me, what if it's this, what if it's that, where I'd be Google searching 24/7 at home, where I'd be on forums nonstop, what if it's this, what if that happened, what if this is the case, what if I'll never come out of this? When I was feeling these feelings of unreality, this derealization, depersonalization, where I was starting to feel disconnected, and the disconnection was feeling really scary. And when I was getting the emotions that came with anxiety, the numbness, the feelings of sadness, the feelings of, honestly, no feeling at all. One of the things I told myself is, Shaan, if you can recover from this, you're gonna tell the whole world. Like, I could imagine it. I used to imagine that once I got out of this, I would post on the forums and I'd be like, guys, this was the answer. This is all it was. Guys, if you do this, we can all recover. And I was looking forward to that day, actually. I was like, I can't wait till that day happens. Now, what happened was that once I started recovering, recovery was nothing like what I expected. See, people think that you need to fix these symptoms first and then they go away and then you go back to living, right? You need to conquer these symptoms. But the truth is actually the opposite. What happens is that you understand of the mechanics, you understand what's happening, and then you go back to living, and then these symptoms go away. But when they go away, you don't care so much about them. That's the thing. You really don't care so much about them. Now, I know how difficult that is for you, where it's like, Shaan, like these symptoms are so debilitating, I can't even go through my day. And so I know that seems a little far-fetched, but that's honestly how recovery looks. And the truth is that once I started focusing on recovery, I never wanted to talk about anxiety again. Like I remember there was a point where I was like, you know what, maybe I should share my story. But then I was like, you know what, like just, you're so busy, I got this going on, I got that going on, you know what, forget about it. And that's honestly the truth. See, what happens is when people recover, they're not actually on these forums. Right? So think about it. The reason why forums exist are for people that have similar problems that are together to kind of help each other out, right? However, when people do recover, there's no need of a forum because it's not a problem anymore. Forums are for people that have problems where it seems unsolvable, right? While they're in the middle of the problem. Once it's fixed, they're gone. But here's the thing. You, who's just trying to get out of this, going into forums, hoping you could just find some stuff that helps. What do? You find toxicity. You find people that have been struggling longer than you. You find people that have a whole bunch of issues, not just anxiety, and you're just like, what's happening? These people are struggling longer, and there's a lot of negativity. But here's the truth. The people that recover, they're not on these forums. They're just not. And you think you would too, right? You think that if you recovered from this, you'd be like, no, Shaan, I'm gonna tell the world. I'm gonna do it. You really think that, right? That's not true. You're not gonna do it. Because part of recovery is letting go of anxiety, letting go of how you feel. And so part of that is going on living. And so if you're living, going back into a forum doesn't really make sense. Now, I wanna read you something that is from my exclusive Facebook group where I have a ton of exclusive content that I'm not sharing anywhere. And I want to post you this, I want to share with you this post that somebody made and really highlight how when people recover, it's not that big of a deal, and you don't really see it on forums, and it's the reason why you don't see a lot of anxiety success stories. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up here, and we'll put it up somewhere on the screen over here. So the post goes like this, and I'm gonna keep the person's name confidential. Because I've noticed that if I say people's names, people end up like trying to stalk the other guys and like trying to ask them a whole bunch of questions. And so I'm gonna keep this person anonymous. Even though they said I could use their name, I'm not gonna do it. So here's how the post goes. Would just like to make probably my last and final post on here, as I haven't checked it in months. So it's interesting, right? Like, this person is doing much better, and because he's doing much better, he's not checking the forums as much anymore. He's not even part of my community anymore. So here's how it goes. I struggled with severe health anxiety after not dealing with stress in a healthy way that put me in the ER for a number of times in a row over chest pains and trouble breathing and scared out of my mind. Sounds super familiar, right? I know exactly what he was going through. I was currently in America at the time before coming home to New Zealand, and it took the hospital 6 visits before they said it was probably anxiety and left me with no answers. That is such a common experience. And if you keep going to the doctors and you're not really getting answers, oftentimes it really is just anxiety. And once you understand it's anxiety, at least that's where recovery can start. Anyways, I continued to struggle with multiple panic attacks a day and tried everything. I want to thank Shaan Kassam for introducing me to the acceptance method and articulating it in a way that was incredibly educating and eye-opening. When I started to recover, it was a crazy up and down affair. It went through a period of 2 months where it wasn't getting better but stuck with it. And then up and down again, and around 180 degrees that way and this way, and now I finally am confident I have recovered. Been about 3 months without an attack and minimal anxiety. Even if it does pop up for a split second, I literally dismiss it as anxiety and accept it and just carry on. And that is now a rare scenario for me. In total, I'd say I had the worst of it for 2 years and stumbled across the method of acceptance a year in. You gotta trust the process and remove the fear. It's crazy how it convinces you it's the worst. And now I am aware of it in other areas of my life. Without a doubt, it has made me more compassionate and aware of the inner dialogue that consumes our everyday behaviors, and for this I am grateful. This is interesting. I haven't seen this forum in a long time, and I used to look at it every day. I'd say my biggest lessons for recovery were, don't force it, recovery, become comfortable with the uncomfortable, something I say in this channel all the time, and carry on with whatever you would normally be doing in the situation. Where your focus goes, your energy goes. Show your brain that those symptoms aren't worth worrying about. Thank you everybody on here. You are much stronger than you give yourself credit for. And thank you, Shaan, for your powerful insight into this condition. You are helping many people come to terms with how to accept themselves and recover. Now, here's the interesting thing about this person. This person even still went above and beyond. Most people that recover don't even post that. So you, who's an innocent bystander, who's trying to figure it out, the people that are recovering aren't even on these forums. So it's like you're getting a skewed perspective of this. You're not getting the full perspective. Think about it this way, okay? Let's say it's not anxiety. Let's come up with a random thing. Let's say diabetes. Actually, let's not even go diabetes. Let's go wisdom teeth removal, okay? Something super bizarre. And let's say you got your wisdom teeth removed, or you haven't, but your wisdom teeth don't bother you. Well, would you be on a forum right now about your wisdom teeth? Would you genuinely be on a forum? No. Now, why? Why is that? The reason why is because it's not a problem. It's not a problem for you. But I'm sure those forums exist. And those people that are on the forums are probably making up some stuff, or I won't say making up stuff, but are probably struggling with something that has to do with wisdom teeth extraction, something like that. Something happened, or they're not getting it pulled out, or whatever happening, or like, you know, whatever it is. But the point is that you're only going to find those people that are struggling. And you, who's just trying to figure it out, if you looked on those forums too, you would be like, oh my God, I should never get my wisdom tooth extracted. Or, oh my God, I already had my wisdom tooth extracted. It's a very scary place. One of the things to understand that The internet is more about affirmations than information. If you're searching for something, you'll find it, no matter what it is. And so it's really important to find the right information. So I really want to challenge you guys to really focus on the fact that there are anxiety success stories. There are people that are struggled just like you that have also came out of it too. And it's one of the tenets to really believe to focus on recovery, because if you don't genuinely believe that, you're going to sabotage your own recovery. You're not going to have enough fuel in the fire to focus on long-term freedom. So I hope this video was really helpful. Guys, if you really like this content and you really want to you guys really want to focus more on long-term freedom, I'll post my Instagram. I'm putting daily content on my Instagram. That's also probably one of the best ways to connect with me. And so over there, it's kind of little tidbits to kind of help you continue on your journey and kind of motivate you and re-guide you to what to focus on long-term freedom. And more importantly, guys, if you are serious about getting this rid of once and for all and just going back to living, and you're just tired of dealing with this, well then, why don't me and my team just guide you ourselves? Look, my team are individuals that have struggled just like you, myself as well. We are people that know exactly what kept you up at night. Like, we know exactly, and we've helped so many people overcome this. We've literally broken it down to a science. It's literally become a science. And so it's just a matter of guiding you step by step, having you recover, and you no longer needing us as well. And so if that's you, there's a link down below for application for my mentorship. Now, when you apply for that mentorship, it's gonna show you a short video telling you about the mentorship, followed by an application. After you fill out the application, my team and I will review, and if you are a good fit, we'll have a strategy session absolutely free. And if so, if you're a good fit, we'll guide you to recovery. If you're not a good fit, that's totally okay too. There's a bunch of free content out there. There's a bunch of other things out there that, you may have to do it on your own a little bit, and sure, you may stumble a little bit because you're doing it on your own, but the focus should still be on recovery, yeah? So as long as you're focused on recovery, that's key. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.